Hey everybody, welcome to the TheFreeRotation podcast. I'm Baby the Hare. I am joined by our legal advisor, Becky.
Hello, everybody.
I am also joined by the head honcho, also known as Angela.
Hello.
And there's some fuckhead next to me named Chris.
Hey.
Anyway, we are talking about childhood fears and traumas and all that jazz.
We're about to get very therapeutic up in here.
Quick update on our creepy cemetery adventure. We caught some shit and it was cash money.
Mm-hmm. If you want to look at the VOD where we review the evidence, just go to our...
Our
How
twatter.
did I get a stutter?
Check out our Twitch at
Thank
TheFreeRotation.tv or whatever it is.
It's twitch.tv/TheFreeRotation. Check us out over there, guys.
Sure. Also, I learned that
There
if you
we
talk
go.
shit to ghosts for an hour, spooky things will happen.
Yeah, Bobby had stuff thrown at our cars. Not Bobby doing it, but...
Wait, stuff got thrown at the cars?
My car... Actually, no, something got banged on my car.
Oh.
Something was like squeezing Casey's arm and hurting
Oh.
her, and then it kept touching me.
Jeez,
Stop
I'm a
touching
dick.
Me. Stop touching me.
So, fun story, people. Listeners. My friend Mark and I went with them on our fucking spooky adventure, and we weren't really getting anything. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to pull a Shane Bidet and just start talking shit and see what happens. Fuck around and find out. But we did, and then some stuff happened, and then Mark and I were like, it's time for us to go to the bar. And then apparently other shit happened. And it's like, thanks, Bobby,
They
Mark.
like peace out. Because before we're getting like lovely women singing and like, you know, just little playful sprites and spirits. And then suddenly it's get the fuck off my field. No, he didn't say fuck. But he was like, get off my field, get out of here, leave. Sure.
And
Yeah.
due to this, Bobby is still junior paranormal investigator, and Mark has been promoted.
It's
Yeah.
fine. You know, I got to talk shit to Confederate people. It was fucking great. Traitors.
Not something you often hear in the South.
Yeah. I was just talking shit to him the whole time. Mark especially. He was just fucking...
I
like,
would love, like, you
great.
leave, though, and then, like, suddenly there's, like, a Confederate soldier in your backseat with, like, these white eyes, and Bobby just shits his pants.
Oh, see, you know you get rid of ghosts, you pee on them.
Oh.
Proven fact. Yeah, you swim up your dick and pee on them, right,
I
Chris?
think Chris has gone to a dark place. Like, he just stopped staring. He's just staring into the abyss.
It's just Bobby. He does this to me.
He's a special little snowflake. Cinnamon roll, sure, whatever.
Anyway.
Croissant.
That sounds tasty right now. I hadn't ate carbs in like 2 days. But...
Speaking of carbs.
Speaking of carbs, let's talk about childhood trauma /
Yeah, we're
fears.
terrible at this rotation.
That's
What
a
do you
hell of
mean?
an intro.
It's a hell of an
Yeah.
intro. It just went on for like 20 minutes.
I've made it my shtick to have an unrelated, like, segue into everything.
It works.
Ah.
It's wholesome. It's consistent of anything. But yeah, let's talk about spooky stuff. So Angie, tell me about one of your childhood fears that's not frogs.
Okay. So, my grandmother was very, very superstitious. Both of them were.
Yeah.
And one thing that they both had in common as a superstition was hearing an owl screech. If an owl screeched, they would like wake up, run into the room, and like tie you down in your bed sheets.
Jesus Christ.
Because it saved your soul from leaving your body. So I had this insane fear of owls screeching. Like the owl is called a screech owl.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm going to
Because
get
like
tied
it's
down
there
in
to
my
take
bed.
your soul. I'm like, and there was an owl, I think I told y'all last week, like sitting out on my fence, and I was like, don't screech, motherfucker. Do not screech. I don't know how to tie those knots.
Your grandmothers would come out of, like, the abyss and be like, tie you down and wake you up.
I would be more terrified to see my grandma than the screech owl.
Yeah, no kidding. Because
Yeah.
they're going to tie you down. The owl's going to
Exactly.
fly away.
Yeah. And they're ghosts.
Wait, how? So what would tying you down do? I guess to keep your soul?
It keeps your soul in. They short sheet the bed. You know what short sheeting is?
Yeah.
Where you like tie somebody around each edge, and it just keeps your soul in your body.
I would almost like to think that if I didn't believe it totally be true, your grandmothers were trolls, and they're like,
Oh, no. This was a legit thing. My mom had to fear too.
So the part that gets me is owls are magic and can steal your soul, but sheets are some sort of shield.
What?
That's where my brain would have went, but like,
Yeah.
but it's cloth, right? We're good.
But
Cool.
it works though when you're a kid. You know, you
Yeah.
hear something spooky, you put the sheet over your head and it can't get you, right?
it
I
sounds
guess
like
so.
bullshit.
It is.
Man. Okay, listeners, you're gonna have to take a drink every time Becky says something dumb today.
Oh,
So at this point, you should be in 5.
you should be at least drunk stage.
Don't
Little
do
tipsy.
don't do it for me because you'll literally just die of alcohol poisoning.
Well, and when the screech owl also screeches, so you tie like the people in the bed, and then you run around and you have to throw sheets on the mirrors, so like your soul can't cross anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And it was
Bananas.
terrifying to hear
Yeah.
a screech owl, 'cause when you live out in the country,
There are owls.
there's owls and they screech.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's gonna get me.
Fair enough.
I think it's just interesting because most people, like, if they hear like screech owls and stuff like that, I don't really attribute it to your soul being
Well, they
taken.
sound a lot like banshees. Like, it's a horrific screech. If you've never heard a screech owl screech, picture like the worst banshee. It's a terrifying screech. When you don't know what it is and you hear that as a kid and you don't see the beautiful owl in flight,
That's
you just
true.
hear a banshee scream. You know, women are running into the room. I need to go to bed. Could be where my kink started. Not gonna lie.
Thank God you made that joke because I was like, no, you know what? We said enough dumb shit for today. I'm not going to make that joke, but thank God you said it for me.
So if they're running in there and tying you down, have they just basically given up on their own souls? Like,
I
screw it,
guess so.
they can have.
I think so. I think that's why they covered the mirrors, and then because I was like, well, who watches the
Yeah.
Watchmen kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like, who ties you down?
Who owls the owl?
And the weirdest part is there was more than one person doing this. Like,
yeah. Oh, like an absolute fear. And I'd wake up and be in time like, what is happening? And worse is when they would fall asleep and forget you were tied to the bed.
Wait, what?
It's all four corners, like you're tied down.
Would it be like until daybreak you would be like this?
Yes.
So who would find you?
My mom usually.
What would
Come
your
in-
mom say? Or I guess she would be like totally down for
Get
this.
up and get ready for school. You've got 5 minutes. Like,
there was an owl, obviously.
yeah.
I see that your mother was very sympathetic to your plight. Like, hey, you're tied down, but figure
I'm
it
just
out.
surprised she tied me in and saved my soul and didn't be like, take this one. We don't like her anyway.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
What? It's a true
We
story.
No, it's fine.
Let's
Just
be honest,
depressing.
this episode is all deep childhood trauma that's really overshadowed by fears of the paranormal.
My childhood didn't traumatize me, but the screech owl did. Like, that shit was terrifying.
So, Becky,
Oh, this is okay. So guess what?
tell me about your childhood.
I have a legit segue from Angie's. You know what literally terrified me when I was a kid?
What?
Really, I'm legitimately still scared of it, and I don't talk about it because it scares me so bad. Banshees.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But it's only because when
Like the
okay.
motorcycle?
What?
Yeah,
Is there a
Banshee
male?
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Is there? I
The
don't know.
Banshee
Whatever.
motorcycle, it's a thing.
Everybody feels like they're trolling me right now, and I'm
No,
very
there's a
Oh,
Banshee
I am,
motorcycle.
but there is a Banshee motorcycle, but I am
No,
trolling you.
No, my grandmother, and you'll find that a lot of my fears have been attributed to my grandmother who liked to feed me paranormal stories.
Fair.
So my other one is actually a ghost story, but she would. When I was little, my parents weren't really into the whole paranormals, so I loved being told ghost stories.
Yeah.
So my grandmother, and you have to remember, my grandmother she was in Savannah. She lived in this old house, and one of her favorite things to do was just tell us these scary stories.
Yeah.
So she would tell us, and her mother was Irish, which is kind of funny because that's very
Yeah,
similar
my grandma
to
was Irish.
yeah. So she would tell us about banshees, and like if you hear any sort of noises at night and you hear any sort of wailing, she's like, just be cognizant that that's a banshee coming to take your soul. And I'm like, you're like 6, 7, or 8. You're like,
Thanks.
You just stay up at night like, what was that? Who's that?
She loved telling these stories, but literally, I think when you start looking up the stories in it, it's a sad thing, but it's also like, I mean, one of the things you hear in the bump in the night sort of thing, like you hear these noises and all of that, and you're wondering if it's something coming to take you at the end of the day or something. So it scared the living shit out of me.
I like that magic card.
The Banshee's Veil.
No, Bump in the Night.
Banshee's Veil is an item in.
Oh, that's League.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get them mixed up.
Bump in the Night's 3 mana.
Black lava spike.
Yeah, Black Lava Spike.
Oh,
You
shit.
can flash back for, what, 7?
6.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
I was just, I don't know. It was, I don't talk
I
about it.
don't like the term black is taken in magic. It should be suicide. Always. Sorry. Go ahead.
You're good.
Banshee.
This is actually like turning into a Magic the Gathering discussion as well.
Sorry, that's my
It's
bad.
your fault, Banshee.
No, I mean, there's really not much to add much more to that. It's just something that was terrifying as a kid
Yeah.
and I think a lot of these stories are meant to scare little kids.
Yeah,
like,
don't fuck up.
Like fairy tales and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
And
I
I'm
was-
still scared. Like you were saying, I heard a screech owl when I lived in Maryland, and I ran as fast as I could to get to the house before that screech owl could get me. And it was just flying through the trees, screeching. And I was like, I'm like, it's either a banshee or an owl. Either way, I'm dead. And my fat ass ran. And there was like the girl I was with. She had a son. I just left him behind. Like he's on his own.
Fuck the kid.
Yeah. I tripped him. Like,
I mean, they
pushed him
saved
down.
my soul, but
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
kid's on his own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't have a soul.
Grow up.
Like,
yeah, get a job, kid.
yeah, I
Damn.
was leaving the next day. I'm like, I'm
Jeez.
out of here. I gotta go. Sorry, kid.
So-
You're not my spawn.
True. So, Chris, tell me about your childhood trauma.
So I didn't have a whole lot of trauma, really.
Fears, same thing.
My family was, and just listening, like y'all seem to be more superstitious based. Like your family had more like of the folklore aspect,
Yes.
and the fear side of it. We never really had any of that. My fear was, even to this day, like I'm still scared of. There are three things that scare me: heights, the dark, and aliens. And that's just what it is. And I have a thing where I don't want to be afraid of anything. So I went skydiving when I'm terrified of heights. I get on ladders pretty regularly. It just is what it is. My fear of the dark, when I was probably 7 or 8, like if I had to go outside at night, like I would cry. Like it scared the bejesus out of me.
But that's, and that's funny because people are always like, haha, kids are scared of the dark. But that's an evolutionary thing.
Well,
Yeah.
that, and even then, my dad would be like, look, to kind of calm me down, he'd be like, if it's at night and you can't see it, it can't see you. And that was to try to get me to chill out about night. And then
Then you get older and realize that's not true.
well, not even older. Like the next day, I start researching things they can see at night, and I'm like, oh, all these murder
shit.
cats can see at night really well, and wolves, and their eyesight's way better than mine. I wear glasses and I'm half blind already. I'm screwed. If they want to eat me, I'm just getting eaten. But to get over that, we go camping a lot. Like I'm
Yeah.
outside at night a lot because one of two things is going to happen. One, I'm going to be murdered and my fear is going to be justified, or two, nothing's going to be happening and I'm just wrong, which
Yeah.
is also fine.
and you're living your life.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I just refuse to let
I
that sort of
agree
thing
with you.
deal with
I
me.
won't live in a fear, except a frog. I don't want to be touched by a frog.
Even then, like nothing.
Well, that's legit because poison dart frogs and shit. Like that's a legit thing. You don't want to fucking
Yeah.
die. So I get it.
We live in Georgia.
I'm just trying to justify her.
I don't think I have to worry about Amazon rainforest basin frogs just
You don't
showing
know
up.
that, Chris.
Yeah, get out of the zoo.
I'm not sure they'll survive here.
Get out of the zoo. Give me a zoo.
Weren't they saying like murder hornets and some other thing was coming from like South America or something?
So the murder hornets were Japanese giant hornets, and they actually, as far as I can tell, only showed up on one island outside of Washington in a small colony, like Washington State, not D.C. And they only showed up on that one island for a little while.
Yeah.
It's just, again, a lot of this stuff that, and I do this with any of the news cycles or the stories they try to hype up, or just look into it.
Yeah.
Murder hornets
Yeah.
in the U.S. Technically, yes, this tiny little island outside of Washington is a U.S. territory. However, it's 3,200 miles away, and it's one colony that
Yeah.
probably got brought over on
And
a cargo
honestly,
ship.
Their
Yeah.
migratory
Cool.
patterns probably got screwed up by some storm.
Yeah.
They're like, where the fuck are we?
Yeah, I don't think they've ever made it to mainland.
I like to prefer the theory that was on a Facebook meme that was like somebody's doing the butterfly effect trying to fix everything and the murder hornets disappeared because of that.
Well, people have forgotten, like, the killer bees, Africanized honeybees.
Oh, I remember
that was a huge fear for years.
Like started
And
in the 80s.
Everybody assumed they were going to come just wipe out America. And
Right.
you know what? They ended up in South Texas, and that's kind of it. And then we just killed the crap out of them because they're bees.
Yeah. Raid will
Yeah.
do wonders
Yeah,
for you.
I'm not worried about murder hornets, which actually mostly just kill honeybees anyways. Cool, we can kill them. Like, that kind of stuff doesn't frighten me because, again, it's just the way I look at it. Like, if there are hornets, where are they? Okay, they're on this one island 3,200 miles away. I don't care. But, like, the dark, that's every night. I got to
That's
go
the
out in
truth.
that. Like,
Yeah.
that is unavoidable. So I have to meet that head on. And even the way my mind works, like, I looked into what animals attack humans, how often do they attack them, what do we have here that's local. As an 8, 9, 10-year-old kid, like, I'm looking up mountain lions and brown bear and black bear and
Bobcats. And
yeah, seeing what can attack me, and then calming down, like, hey, my actual real threat is maybe I step on a snake that's trying to warm up on the ground,
Yeah.
and he bites me because that's all he can do.
Right.
That's my real fear. Like, what if I accidentally step on a copperhead? Like, he's gonna bite me because he's pissed and I stepped on him. Sucks.
There was a TV show, I can't remember what, I think it was on the History Channel, and it wasn't Are You Afraid of the Dark like the Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
It was like Afraid of the Dark, and it was talking about the history of why humans are so scared of the dark.
Sure.
It was really good. And it was similar to stuff like that, like the things that come out that can see you, like bobcats and stuff like that. But they were talking about fire, superstitions about death. That's a whole
well,
thing. It's all evolutionary.
And if you look at us, even 30, 40,000 years ago, even in North America, we had megafauna. We had short-faced bear and saber-toothed cats and very large predators that could just drag you off in the night.
Right.
Like, and there's nothing you can do about it because you can't see them. They're padded. They're built for silent. They're built for strength. They grab you as a 9-year-old, you're just done. Like, there is no recovery from that. And it's just built into us, like, hey, there are things in the dark that can kill you. We don't have so many of those anymore. Most of the megaflora and megafauna have died out after, the Halcyon Comet event, or what, we'll get into that later. But now we have technically cougars, mountain lions.
Yeah.
Super rare. You don't really hear about, especially here, people being actually attacked or mauled. We have coyote. Coyote are mostly cowardly hunters. They
Grab a fucking
Scout
shovel.
Think about that viral video on Facebook right now about the cougar with the guy on the trail.
Yeah, he was trying to take pictures of the kittens.
Yeah.
He got close to the kittens.
And she didn't attack him.
She scared him
just
off.
Scared him off. Now, if he had turned his back, she probably would have got him.
Yeah, well, they're ambush predators.
Yeah.
And that was my fear when I was a kid. What if one of these large, whatever, animals gets me from behind that I can't hear moving?
Yeah.
I'm screwed. Like, there is no fighting it off. So even then, when I got 12, I went into the woods at night with a knife. Like, I'm going to go find a bobcat. We're going to see what happens. I never ran up on one because they're cats and sneaky.
Yeah.
But it was just...
They're probably all around you like, look at this kid right here.
Yeah, but that's how, in my mind, I got past it. Like, I'm not going to be scared of these things.
Right.
If I just head-on approach it. If I survive it, then what's to be scared of? And that's how I approach pretty much anything I'm scared of.
I'm terrified of the dark, too. And at night, because it's like you can't see, so you're hearing just 100 times. And you're like, what was that? What was that? So I specifically make myself, don't focus, turn over, go to fuck to sleep.
See, and I try to, the way I look at that is I calm down and okay, that's a weird sound. What could it be attributed to?
Yeah.
Is it a bird?
Is it a plane?
It's a screech owl for sure.
Yeah, is it an owl? Is it a bat?
Yeah.
Is it a
Because
squirrel?
owls make some pretty weird noises.
Yeah, they do. A lot of animals make strange noises, and there are nocturnal animals. Like,
And squirrels make the weirdest noises, especially if they're woken up
Or
at
they
night.
throw nuts at you.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, they have the tiny ass brain size of a seed. Can't function that highly.
but those are the things that frighten me. And aliens, because we watched Fire in the Sky. I don't know if
Oh,
you've ever
yeah,
seen that.
that'll do it. That movie's fucked.
And the fact that once I saw it, the way my brain works, I start researching it, and nothing in that story has been proven false. And you're like, the Travis, the main character that gets abducted, you're like, well, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Cool. There are things that want to take me up wherever and do medical experiments. I can't stop it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
there is
you
no fighting
legit-
that.
no.
It's that powerless feeling, and there's nothing I can do about it other than, well, if they want to come get me, they'll come get me. Cool.
And you just have to recognize it, move on.
Yeah, well,
It
that's
is what it
everything.
is. Yeah.
That's life. If North Korea actually gets a nuke and decides to nuke us, I can't do anything about
Yeah.
it, so I don't worry about that.
Yeah.
If the Yellowstone supervolcano decides it's going to explode tomorrow,
That's it.
that's just
We're not going to be around to regret it.
yeah, it's
so-
not going to matter. So I don't let it bother me.
Well, it was funny. Me and Angie were talking about this yesterday because we were talking about the asteroid that's supposed to orbit near us. I was like, would I really be upset if I was killed by an asteroid? I'd probably be upset that I was about to die. But really, what is there to do?
Yeah, nothing.
Unless Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck go handle it. I'm just saying.
Because I saw a Twitter and it was like, when the asteroid comes, because it's coming the day before the election, it was like I'll say lean, everybody lean. And it said, to be clear, lean into the asteroid.
Well, that's another one of those fear things because we get passed by near Earth asteroids 200 times a year. Most of them are not continent or Earth killers. Most
Right.
of them are just, if it hits, it's going to suck for that 10 miles, but whatever. Most of it, like, that kind of stuff, it just seems like a waste of time to worry about, a waste of energy. We're not here for long enough for me to care. Like,
if you really want to care about it or feel like you're like emotionally invested in it, just watch Your Name.
yeah.
Just put that in perspective.
Yeah.
I saw this thing that was like, in your life, there's 2 dates that'll be on your gravestone. So those dates aren't important. What's important is the time between them.
Absolutely.
So I was just like, oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
the hyphen. That is an important time for you.
Yes, the hyphen.
Yeah, everything. Your whole life is that hyphen. Like,
Yeah.
everything's in between it.
Well, and I always go back and quote like Carl Sagan and Richard Dawkins talking about like we are like a minuscule being in a very vast darkness where our time is like a blip. And it's not just worth living
If
your
it's
life.
even a blip.
It's not even really. It's just like this moment.
It's nothing.
Even
I
not
like
even.
to imagine we're like a bacterial colony in like this huge thing's colon. And that
Huh.
when natural disasters and stuff happen, they've like taken medicine, like when we get out of control, like, oh, I better get this out of me.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking
it's like
flare
an
up.
antibiotic.
It's like
Yeah.
go get some icy hot or
Because
something.
that's really, and I think we're just
Don't-
a bacterial colony.
Well, that's what I was talking to Casey the other day because she does get worked up about things. Like she worries about the world and war and all that kind of stuff. And I showed her the Universe song from Monty Python to kind of put things in perspective.
Yeah.
But I told her, I'm like, the way I look at it is we are, every day we're alive, we're surrounded by miracles. We ourselves are miracles. The fact that we are cognizant of our own surroundings, that we are able to recognize, speak, talk, hear, get on the internet and look things up. Every one of these things is a miracle. And we take them for granted because they're so common. I don't have time to worry about things that are going to make me sad or upset me, because every single thing we're able to do is actually a miracle. And we ignore it because they're so commonplace. We can drive a car. It's a miracle. We're not monkeys living in the trees
That's
anymore.
true.
It is,
And we can impact change.
Yeah, we
that's-
literally don't pay attention to how many miracles we're surrounded by every day. And you know what? Our life expectancy is too short. We're not here for long enough. I don't have time for worry and hate. I just don't.
Angie's shirt is exactly what we should say. Don't forget to love each other.
Wholesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And that's what
I don't want to love everybody, though.
I do. Here's my thing. I love everybody regardless, because, again, we're not here for very long. 70 years, 80 years, whatever. That's nothing in the grand scheme of even the planet, much less the universe. I don't have time or patience for hate or anger. It's
I'll
just
care
not worth
that
it.
I'm not going to love. I'll be honest. Love to me
That's fair.
is very hard. But I'll care.
Yeah.
I will care about you to the end.
She's
And
not talking
sometimes I
about you,
think
Becky. She
care
loves you. Don't
is
worry
more
about it.
than love.
Yeah. I'm in a different category.
You're a special potato.
Wait, don't give me that look.
What? Bobby, what's your fear?
Speaking of, don't forget, one of my biggest fears as a kid was being forgotten.
Oh,
That was
shit.
such, like, I'd have nightmares where I would be like in my house and my parents say, "Who are you?" And it's like
Oh my God.
super fucking like existential crisis. Like, and I'd be like I'd sit on the stairs like the next morning, like, who am I? What am I? I'm a fucking 6-year-old kid. I shouldn't be having these thoughts.
You're literally the reverse Home Alone.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
fucking real. It's just bad. And I think those episodes on TV where like the main character gets like forgotten. It's like, oh, like they like what would happen if you weren't here type
like,
of deal.
Or like those old
Yeah.
movies where you're like, I want to forget my parents. I want new
Yeah.
parents. And then it's like you forget how
What was that? Something of the Spotless Mind.
Eternal Sunshine of
I
the
bet
Spotless
that movie
Mind.
fucked you up,
Yep.
didn't it?
Oh yeah, it's so good though.
And there's a Black Mirror episode about that
Probably.
where you forget, and then, or the person wants to forget you, so they just see you as a blur or don't see you at all. Remember that Black Mirror episode? It was
That's cool.
awesome.
Going on that tangent, there is a character in the anime One Piece. Her devil fruit power turns you into a toy. The side effect is, though, everybody that knew you forgets you.
holy shit.
Yeah, everyone. And it's like, this sucks.
That's a horrific
Yeah.
power.
And she's a little fucking lowly girl, and it's like, you don't expect it, like something that terrifying out of a child. I do, because fuck kids.
It's funny because like that is such and I can kind of see why you would have a fear like that. And it's like almost a therapeutic thing. Like it's like that fear of, it's almost like a fear of abandonment almost.
Oh no, that's what we talked about. We talked about my therapy sessions, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like an
bad.
abandonment problem.
Yeah.
Like the idea that you not being remembered is just because nobody cared.
Mm-hmm.
Well, deep.
And there's a saying that goes with that, and it's everybody dies twice.
Mm-hmm.
The first death is when you die. The second death is when no one remembers you.
Oh yeah, that was super sad.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to happen to all of us. That's
Yeah.
the thing is like, eventually, even, I know it sounds crazy, but even people like Hitler on a long enough timeline, they don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
As horrific as it was, in 20,000 years, if we're still here, it's probably not even going to be a blip.
It's funny though because it's weird. I'm sort of the opposite of Bobby. Like the idea of being like a blip on the screen is almost comforting to me. Like as long as I give back and do good, even if I'm not remembered for whatever I did, if I can leaving the world a little bit better, then if nobody remembers me, I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, I don't know. It's just a weird thought process. I think what scares me more is not remembering who I am.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
fucked,
dementia
too.
and stuff like that. That scares me, having like a full memory and having good memories, and then not being able to create more memories or remember the people who are important to me. That scares me.
I think that's a common human thing. Like
Yeah.
the inability to remember things that are important. I mean, it's the flowers for Algernon symbol.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
was
just
thinking
so
that.
sad.
It's man, that book fucked me up when I was like in third grade.
The movie is
Like,
fucking heartbreaking.
I was like,
goddamn.
what happens if you get smart and then you realize you're getting stupid again?
Yeah.
That is terrifying.
That and A Child Called It really screwed me up when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of books that fucked you up when you were a kid, when I was in fourth grade, I read Cujo. So
Sure.
talk about real fears. And at the same time, my dad had this dog named Shep. I grew up with Shep. He was German Shepherd, and then Shep got bitten and got rabies. So rabies scares me still to this day. Like thinking of an animal with rabies or get the fear of getting rabies. But something about Cujo from the perspective of the dog, like when he would ride the dog and he's just so thirsty and he's a good dog, but he wants to bite them because they're loud and they won't shut up. And just thinking about that, it's heartbreaking, but it scares me. Because I'm always outside. I'm like, is that bobcat have rabies?
Yeah.
That's what scares me about animals in the dark. They might have rabies.
Oh yeah, fucking
Those dogmen might have rabies.
Rabies is a horrific way to die.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Fucking-
Real actual rabies is a
Yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah.
And I think what's scarier about Cujo is you're having it from the perspective of the dog, so it's not like it's just a natural villain.
You get to see it slowly degrade.
It's
and
And
like-
he
fucking
didn't
awful.
want to be a villain.
Yeah.
So I'm
He doesn't
always
have a choice, yeah.
super terrified. And then I got I got mauled by a chipmunk once. It's-
Mauled, you say? That's a
Yeah.
bit of an aggressive term for what chipmunks can do.
I got mauled. I was sitting on a porch.
Heavy nibbling.
And with like these newborn kittens, and the mama cat was trying to kill a chipmunk. So she chases the chipmunk onto the porch, and I'm like, it's not gonna get me. But the chipmunk ran on me, so there was a whole like chase on my fucking face and stuff.
This is like a bad Nickelodeon cartoon.
Well, it happened, and then they both used my head as a springboard, so I was super clawed up and like bleeding and
It really
gashed.
sounds like you were mauled by a cat, if you really think about it.
Yeah. Well, the cat just used me as like a springboard to get to the chipmunk. The chipmunk was like using my face as like a disco dance floor. And so when I went to the doctor to get a tetanus, she was like, I was like, the cat was chasing it. She's like, well, we're going to have to give you a round of rabies shots. And I was like, why?
Because you don't want to die from that. It's awful.
So you don't, but around here, pretty much the only thing you need to worry about with rabies are fox and raccoon. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of it. And that's how most other animals get rabies. Like, if there's another rabid animal, it probably came from a rabid fox or raccoon. And it has to be a larger mammal. If a chipmunk decides to pick a fight with a raccoon, it's just a dead chipmunk. Mm-hmm. There is no survival in that for him. So I deal with this a lot at work because I deal with wild animals. People are worried about rabid bats. That's just not a thing, really. Not here.
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing the bats as a kid, and my mom was also like terrified of rabid bats. So maybe a lot of they're passed down to
It's a
you.
thing. I hear about it a lot.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, the bats! Da, da, da. They'll suck your blood and give you rabies." And I was just like, "Oh God, I'm gonna die for sure because it's dark out and there's bats." And now I'm just like, I see a bobcat. I really am. I'm like, it's got rabies, doesn't it? The owl in the back. I'm like, it's probably got rabies.
No, it just wants to be a pet. Go pet the big
I
cat.
want to pet it,
Go pet the big cat.
but he slinks around and he just looks at me like, "Hey, bitch, come on,
Yeah.
let it step.
Hey, bitch, you
What's
want-
happening?
He wants some scritches.
Yeah.
Give him some scritches.
Put your dog inside, see what happens."
But I wonder how many of these fears are brought on by the things our parents told us. Like in
Oh,
y'all's
yeah.
cases, they were superstitious. Mine weren't, and mine raised me to be. I mean, they really wanted me to read and learn and get to the base and reason of things, which also terrified the shit
Yeah.
out of me. Because when I found out that, these big cats can see in the dark real well, and they're ambush predators and like to drag you off up into a tree, I'm like, cool, I don't ever want to go outside.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the saying ignorance is bliss is
Oh,
the way
man.
it is.
Well, and there's so much stuff like don't sweep feet, don't spill milk, don't drop butter,
Don't sweep
drop
feet?
Yeah,
That's
because you
what?
sweep somebody out of your life.
If you sweep across their feet, you're sweeping them out of your life.
We have to do a
There's
whole thing
so
on
much.
superstitions because
Yeah.
this is weird.
Yeah.
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 Oh, there's some weird Southern superstitions that are like legitly
Especially
like
if they don't spill milk and don't do something with butter like before a certain time in the morning, and there was just so many.
don't
So-
wear white after Labor
so-
Day.
So
I
question.
think that's more of fashion.
And no, okay, speaking of that.
Oh, God.
I looked it up because I like to wear white 24/7, 365 days a year because that's a good color. But the reason they say don't wear white for Labor Day, so back in the Revolutionary period, in the summer you wore linens, and linens
Yeah.
are typically white. And after Labor Day, things would start to cool off. So you put your linens away and start wearing like sturdier clothing, like flannels and whatnot. So that's why you don't wear that white after Labor Day. It's not, and it doesn't apply anymore because it's fucking stupid. I want to wear my white tennis shoes after Labor Day. Fuck
Can
you.
I just say that I have not heard Bobby drop a historic fact I'm even like
Yeah.
fact in so long that I was like, holy shit, Bobby was like dropping like some actual facts.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Fashion related.
Bobby is very intelligent. The first time he joined us for trivia, there was a question and
God.
about an
This
old,
again.
like the
That's
second
great.
or third president. Bobby's like, oh, something, I need something. We're like, what? He was like, it was on a placemat.
No. What it was I remember this. It was the I remember this because it's one of those fucking important memories in my head because it's so silly. It was like, what purchase in 1803 cost in today's money like $3 billion?
$3.2
It's the
million.
Louisiana Purchase, and I was like, I knew that because I saw it in the back of a placemat. Because it was like under Jefferson's fucking thing. That's a big thing.
Yeah,
he
we were
did.
all sitting there like, oh, what is it? He's like, it's on a placemat. It's Louisiana Purchase.
And he's like, it's Thomas Jefferson in like 1803 with a Louisiana Purchase. We're like, oh,
Yeah.
Cool.
oh shit, okay.
Dropping your trivia.
Fibia. Drop your fibia.
Now,
Yeah.
I gotta make a stupid joke to balance this all out. I feel like
No, you don't.
No,
Yeah, I do.
Bobby.
Yeah, I
Bobby,
do.
you've made more than enough to make sure that it's a little bit leveled. You're fine.
oh
no.
no, it's fine.
The superstitions really interest me, and I'd like to talk about those and figure out like the basis for them and the origins.
Oh,
and
I love
it's
superstitions.
super cool to me.
It's always general. It's funny though, because back in college, I took a lot of folklore classes, and it's interesting to learn how these superstitions came about. So I'm totally down for a superstitions episode if we want to talk about our
especially
favorites.
because a lot of them have gotten like people forget that boys used to be dressed in pink and girls were in blue, because like the brighter colors, they were drawn to the blue. And like when the angel of death came, they would want to take the blue, so they would try and save the boys and kill the girls.
Oh, that's fucked.
So I'm always wondering, like, when did that switch?
I wonder if that has anything to do with like painting the above your door with the what was it, lamb's blood
Yeah,
in Egypt when the angel of death flew over. If you had it like the red
yeah, I bet that was it. Yeah,
for the pink, yeah,
but they had a really hard time getting red, so it just came out pink.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can imagine how many times you'd have to dye something to get red.
I think we all, when we do this, should have a category of superstitions, and Bobby's is fashion, like fashionable superstitions.
Hey, there are
Deal.
some fashion
Yeah.
superstitions.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be
Like
good for you.
the way you wear your watch. There's a superstition about that. My grandmother was an Irish immigrant, so there was just so many.
You know what another superstition is? I have two. Don't wear Crocs with socks, you fucking mongoloid. And two, if you're gonna wear a denim jacket, make sure the jeans you're wearing aren't the same fucking shade of denim, or you look like an asshole. This is in goddamn Canada in the 80s.
I like.
How dare you badmouth the Canadian tuxedo?
It's fine if that's what you're going for, but I'll see a fuckhead at a Magic tournament. I'm like, he's not doing that to be ironic. He's doing that because he's inept, and it's fine. And then I go to the bathroom, like, I need some fucking coke.
We need an entire segment for Bobby just to go off on fashion rants.
I'll go off on any tangent you need, as long
We'll
as
do
I
a
know
YouTube
enough.
series of Bobby's fashion rants.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
his fashion advice and rants.
I'll run out eventually.
Bobby's faux pas of the week.
Yeah. Like,
It's always like me or you standing
Oh
there.
my god.
Yeah, in the outfit.
Put on some socks, you dick.
Yeah. No, fuck you. You're wearing low top sneakers. Wear socks. I don't want to smell your fucking athlete's foot, you asshole. I don't want to smell you 10 feet away. I can't tell it's the BO of your feet. Either way, I'm going to lick them.
I like
Oh.
how this episode has turned in from childhood fear to just like
Bobby's bullshit.
not even that, just an excess, not an excess, like just letting go of all of the things that
Yeah,
we
this-
want to rant
If
about.
Bobby ever gets drunk and passes out around us, we're putting Crocs with socks on his feet. So when he wakes up, he'll be like,
I'll play shit my pants immediately when as soon as you slide the Crocs on, my body will know something's wrong.
Well, I want back to the fear thing. I wonder
Yeah.
how much, because like your grandma was an Irish immigrant, she had a lot of the folklore stuff. I wonder how much of that they truly believed, and how much of our fears in that like style or genre or whatever have been alleviated by the internet. And
Oh yeah.
like we don't worry about screech owls in the woods.
yeah,
It's a bird. I don't give a shit.
it's a bird. He's screeching because he's chasing prey. And
Yeah.
the screech,
There's
like,
a rabbit and he
taunts
wants
it.
to eat it.
Right.
Poor
and then
bunny.
that scream makes the rabbit freeze.
Yeah.
And so it's
I would really like to look at
makes me freeze too. I'm going to be honest.
I would honestly be interested, and I'm thinking that we should do a superstition episode like next week. That'd be pretty cool. The reason why is I'd also like to look at like superstitions from not just Ireland but like Asian superstitions to see how that has perpetuated a lot of fear out of kids.
Really, Becky, about Asians again.
Okay, Bobby, you can't decide that you're Asian or not Asian.
I'm
Okay,
just doing it to be a dick. I'm sorry.
I know.
Well,
Kawaii.
also, as superstitions, how they've been skewed because people are like, ooh, black cats are bad luck. But the Irish superstition is black cats are good luck if they cross your path. And what you want to do is, so you go up to where the black cat crossed your path and then you cross the other way to claim the luck. So, I mean, you don't want to interrupt a black cat crossing your path. And if you don't follow through, then it becomes
Well, and
bad
it's like
luck.
the things that seem to fall off. Like, let's say that, because that's like a black cats cross your path, it's bad luck. But there's a whole nother part to that. But it's like curiosity killed the cat. But what is it?
Satisfaction brought him back.
Exactly. So people
Yeah.
forget those like things because I
Yeah.
think a lot of people just think the generalized part of it,
Yeah.
and they don't really dig deeper as to why that's important.
Well, the same thing with Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's supposedly a bad day, but it was just called Black Friday back in 1300s or whenever, when it was a French king went and had a lot of the Crusaders killed. Like, he just, because they were getting super rich. And
Yeah.
he was like, not today, son. And he had a lot of them murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was on a Friday the 13th. And ever since then, that day has been associated with bad luck.
Yep.
And the 13th, the number 13 has been a set, which is funny because that's much more West. There's a lot of countries, I don't know if it's just Westernized, but the number 12 is also, and the number 8 are also associated with bad luck. So,
Well, 8 is a bad luck number
because
in
it's
numerology.
it never ends, right? Because of the
Yeah, and
infinity.
it also represents like addictions and struggles. But 13 equals 4, which is a very positive, lucky number.
I'm learning on something new shit today.
Yeah, we could do a numerology episode too.
But speaking, to bring it full circle.
Yeah.
No, I'm just fucking trying to talk about more spooky things.
Well, and going back to animals and superstitions, so in a thunderstorm, they're like, don't get near the dog. Dogs attract lightning.
What?
What?
Like,
What?
I've never heard
I
that.
was
That's
terrified.
nuts.
Even now, when I take Riesling out to rain, I'm just like, please don't be lightning.
Can we just do a whole episode on your family superstition?
Oh, it's crazy. There were
Please.
so many.
I was about to say, sometimes I wonder though, like our attributed fears to childhood, which everybody I think will agree, is that our parents or grandparents would come up with this bullshit to freak us out, and we're like, oh shit. And then you get older and you're like, well, I was terrified of it. I'm still kind of terrified of it, but that's because my fucking parents would say shit like this.
Well, and if the rooster crows at a certain time when the sun, when the sun's setting and the rooster crows, you've got company coming, and often it's the angel of death. So you have to.
Jesus Christ.
Better bring your
Yeah.
own fucking
Okay, so we're
boobs,
also going to
bro.
do a series on Angie's family superstition.
Is the
Like,
angel
and
of
they're
death
just
me
Irish.
killing the rooster because it's crowing at nighttime? Because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And then there's like Practical Magic had a lot of these superstitions, and like the blood on the moon really is a bad sign,
Well, and also the ring around the moon is also considered
Yeah.
a bad sign.
which just means snow.
I know. And it's like, it's so pretty. Why does it mean something bad?
Huh.
I don't really like that. It's funny because I'm trying to think of childhood fears that didn't involve paranormal, but all of it really was like paranormal.
I
Like,
got one from a dream.
what?
Okay, so please don't laugh at me. I remember this is
Okay.
me like 2 or 3 years old. So I had a recurring nightmare as a child of a pizza-faced. It's not actually a pizza, but it almost like Freddy Krueger aspect, but like more like dripping, so like kind of cheese
Sure.
and stuff.
Melting face.
Coming out of my wall and trying to kill me. And this dream traumatized me so much. There was one time I had it at my grandparents' in North Georgia. But we had the dream there, and I was fucking literally paralyzed. I couldn't do anything when I woke up. It was just so bad.
Well, you know what's scary,
Yeah.
Bobby, is that apparently you only dream about faces you've seen before, even nightmare faces.
Yeah, you
Probably saw it
supposedly
on TV.
can't imagine
Yeah.
a face when you're asleep.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of my dreams, like, I used to have a recurring nightmare. Again, it's dumb when I was a kid, but the devil was chasing me, and I was on a go-kart trying to outrun him, but he was, like, giant and, like, chasing
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Yep.
And it's whatever. Like, it's just one of those dreams you have, like, now where you're trying to do a task over and over and over, and the repetition just drives you insane.
Yep.
Yeah, or you're
It's just
trying to
impossible.
hit somebody and you hit them as hard as you can, and it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Dunk. Or you can't, when you're falling and you can't stop yourself.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's those
or all your
Yeah.
teeth fall out.
Yeah.
uncontrollable thing
Yeah.
dreams.
It's funny talking about that because I've told Angie this story. When I was a kid, and I had this dream for a long time, probably up until about, 2 years ago, maybe. When I was little, I used to have this dream about, it would be either elementary, middle, or high school, just depending. Even when I got older, and like past these ages, it would always be these like ages. But we would always, it sounds crazy, but it was like we would go to like band camp or some sort of camp, and there was always a serial killer. And this is crazy.
Or like a werewolf or something.
No. It was always the serial killer because remember what happened at the very end.
Yeah.
So I had this recurring dream probably at least 3 or 4 times a year for most of my life. It was terrifying. And it was always like, it would always almost end the same way where I would be hiding in a closet right before it found me. And that's the end of the dream.
Wake up.
Well, 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I told Becky, I'm like, take control of the dream.
So 2 years, about a year and a half ago, it's like in my dream, it's like the back of my head is like, you have to stop this from happening. So in my head, I'm like, well, this is a dream. I've had this. So I turned myself into a werewolf and killed the serial killer.
Nice.
I have not had that dream
Yeah,
since
'cause I-
Nice
then.
lucid dream.
It
That's what I was
is.
telling her. Like, you can control your dreams.
Isn't
Change
that
it.
weird?
So
That's
going
super cool.
going
Change
on
the
that
narrative.
tangent. A couple of years ago, I had the pizza man came back, and this is the weirdest thing. But I did that. But you know who helped me kill him?
Who?
Fred
The cool-
Flintstone and George Jetson.
You need way less drugs, bro.
No, I wasn't high. No, and it wasn't cartoon versions of them. It was how they would look in real life.
The real one.
Oh my God.
Dressed up like in
Like
their
John Goodman.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no, it was John Goodman and Michael Shannon was George Jetson for some fucking reason, and we just beat the shit out of him. Like, it fucking got in the fucking the Stonemobile and fucking ran him over. It was just ridiculous. And no, I was not high that day, Chris. It was the after effects of drugs.
The pet pizza guy, the pizza man, just cut the.
Dominoes.
Yeah,
It's like Domino's pizza. Ah!
I fisted Papa John's to death. He had it coming. He looked. He
I
showed
want
his
you to
dress.
cut that
Picture,
out
like-
of context.
Yeah.
I just pictured Jimmy Johnson knocking. Sir, do you know there's a pizza face man trying to kill you? Yes, come inside and help. Like, this is how
Oh,
I
yeah.
picture like the people coming
But
to
it
help
is
you.
funny how like those fears like translate over the years, and it's like just take control of your fears. Oh my God, guys, it's like we've had therapy. Take control of your fears.
Yeah. Can I
Stay
uh,
woke.
Well, that
kids.
was, and that's what my dad made. I mean, he had a big part of how I handled the things I was
Yeah.
scared of, and it may have been he was a hardcore Marine, and as far as I can tell, not scared of anything. And that was kind of what they taught those old school dudes to do was there's nothing to be afraid of. You can handle anything.
Yeah.
Just kill the pizza face man.
Yeah. So even as a kid, that was kind of
Yeah.
the way he pushed us was, are you scared of this? You scared of heights? Cool. Get on the roof.
Yeah.
And, oh, you didn't fall. You're fine.
Yeah.
And that helped me.
And
go
even if
over
you
it.
did fall, you lived through it, right?
Yeah. Did you break a
But
leg?
did you
Yeah.
die?
Yeah.
you
And that's
die, though?
and that was my thought when I jumped out of that plane was like, I'm terrified
Yeah.
of heights. Feel like I'm going skydiving. Let's see if this
Absolutely.
works.
I was afraid of like public speaking and singing in public, so I fucking went to karaoke and did it. I'm not gonna be scared of stupid shit.
Yeah. My voice is awful, but I'll sing in front of anybody. I
Hell
don't
I
care.
yeah.
will say like
I'm not
have
gonna live a life in fear.
I have a very limited fear of heights, and it's only dependent on certain things. Like we went to the Savannah Lighthouse. Couldn't stand out there. It was a little creepy. But I think it's like that
But
fear.
we were afraid. Well,
I
Becky's
think my-
afraid of heights. I was afraid of climbing, like the vertigo with the no rail.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
there's no
Becky's like,
rail? What
no.
the
Becky's
fuck?
like, we can go back down. I'm like, no, I'm scared of it. I have to do it.
No. My thing was it wasn't the fear of the heights. I think it's that fear, and in the back of your head where it's telling you
You
like
would
to
throw
jump.
yourself.
Oh,
over.
the void?
Like
Yeah.
you're like that
See, I
fear.
never have that.
It's
Oh.
weird.
I do.
No, I rarely do, but it was like in my head that day. Like if you lean over, you just go over. Just go over. and
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's like, why
"Mm-mm."
don't you just jump off, see if you survive? And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck, brain?
Yeah.
What's wrong with
I
you?
do.
Yeah, I've never had that. I always know
do.
if I jump,
I-
I'm gonna die. So
I
let's
have
not
it
jump.
all the time. I'm like, the darkest thing outcome possible. Let's just think what would happen. And it's like,
Right.
why?
Going back to MK Ultra
Get the
here. Like, this
probably.
is what I think now.
So
Get the fuck out of my brain.
mine is more like I don't have the I want to hurt my family. I just want to hurt stupid people in public. So when, like we go to farmers markets or whatever, I have the whole Bill Burr thing where I'm gonna grab somebody's
Yeah.
face and just mush it into whatever
Yeah.
nice organic muffins, you asshole. Ugh. And just see how long it would take. for
Oh,
somebody
these are
to stop
vegan.
me.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Just out of curiosity.
Vegan's food's
So
tasty.
you have
I know
that
it is.
voice. Yours is just a different brand of voice.
Yeah. Mine's never. Hey, I wonder what happens if I jump. Mine's more like, what happens if I kick this dude in the dick as hard as I can? Who's
Yeah.
gonna come stop me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Oh,
The little
God.
voice of the void.
What's the next move?
So I have an idea.
What's this?
When we become famous and we get like our first panel,
Famous.
can I just get reasonably popular and we get like our first panel, like some small con? Can I drop acid like 30 minutes before and I'm just like fucking glass face, like just looking at people? I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like whispering.
How about you wait until we've hit like the 6th or 7th and people are used to us before you do that?
They're
Because I would like
Please
to be,
don't ruin it right out the gate.
don't ruin
We're
it right off
never
the gate.
inviting them
Yeah,
back.
I would like to be re-invited because it's like free plane ticket,
Yeah,
free hotel.
hotel. It's all
yeah,
ballin'.
like we want that, Bobby.
Hey.
We want the perks.
Yeah, we don't need like Chatacon or Momocon or
Yeah,
whoever,
yeah.
being like,
I'm just
yeah, we were gonna invite you, but that guy pulled his dick out. He screamed, "I'm Santa Claus," and ran out of the room. Well, that's Bobby.
I would probably just drool on the mic a bit if I actually. I'm not gonna drop acid before that. That's too much. Maybe peyote. Then I could scream at God again.
And we did go to that Bigfoot convention where we were treated like celebrities. That was nice.
Yeah,
That was.
nice.
Here's food.
Oh yeah, we had
Here's
to deal
a
with.
special seat just for you.
Come back if you guys want.
We
We'll even
reserved
have a
it.
panel for
guys
you. We're
okay?
like,
do you need some
That's
water?
cool.
Yeah, I know. I'm down.
Have y'all done like a Bigfoot hunting expedition video?
No, not yet.
We talked about like Bigfoot and
Because
Sasquatch.
we want to go, but none of us are really like outdoor equipped people. We have tents. So this is where you're going to have to help us, Chris.
Yeah, I was like, what are y'all
Because
missing?
I want to
'Cause
go
my hair
on the
products and
Bigfoot
I'm on trip.
expedition. And we talked to the museum, and they have people, like guides, who will take you out and stay with you overnight and stuff.
So here's the thing: the Bigfoot Museum up there is 17 minutes away from our camper,
Oh.
so we can just go stay on a Friday night and then.
Yeah. Let's do it.
so down. I
mean,
love the mountains.
It's literally 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We are their camper's technically in East Ellijay, up on the mountain.
Yeah,
But
where
it's
the Banjo
we're
people are.
15 minutes away from Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
And like it's easy.
I know what you're
Like,
talking
We
about.
go to Blue Ridge every morning. We're up there and we go get breakfast and then
Yeah.
go to the coffee house, or it's in German, so it's Cafe House.
Yeah.
It's way more angry than coffee should be, but I'm on board because it's good.
and it's German. That's
Yeah.
why
I
it
know
sounds
exactly.
angrier.
That's my favorite spot to go there.
Yeah, it's
that
fantastic.
coffee house is amazing, and they have great breakfast.
Yeah, we
Right.
go every Saturday
That's where
morning.
you, me, and Matt ate on the last
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
I've yet to eat in Blue Ridge. I've driven through Blue.
Oh,
Blue
you
Ridge.
haven't been to Blue Ridge?
I've driven through it.
Oh, it's great, dude.
Yeah.
We went close when I went to Blaze's bachelor party.
Sure.
We drove through it because we were going whitewater rafting, but we didn't actually stay.
See, we always what we do is we rent a cabin and just go up there and just hang out. I love Blue Ridge. But listen, if we want to go Bigfoot hunting, I'm always down. Mostly because I like to see Angie's reaction if she ever saw a Bigfoot.
Immediately shits pants, cries.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what
I would just. I don't know how I would.
I know how
because-
you would
That's what I
react.
would
You
do.
try and mind speak with it.
Well, yeah, I try that out in the backyard all the time. I'd be like, "Is there a Bigfoot?" Once
Chris
we
is like,
found,
the fuck are they talking about right now?
Well, our reactions are very different because they would try to talk to it, and I'm going to try to shoot it and bring it down for actual evidence.
It's,
Like, I need proof.
it's in whatever that city in California where it's really big. It's actually considered an endangered species, and they will fucking arrest you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Arrest me for shooting the Bigfoot.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
When I auction off its body, I'll pay my bill.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. What's that?
When you make the
Yeah.
contour, you'll pay off the bills.
Yeah,
off
we'll
that.
be fine.
Yeah, I'm just letting you. I don't care here. I'm just letting you
But
know.
that's what I'm saying. Like, we can go up there and go hunting because we have access whenever we want. Like,
yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
I don't care. I will tell you, though,
I would love that.
there is no internet on the mountain. There is
That's
no.
fine.
Yeah.
I'll bring a mobile
There-
hotspot and I'll
there-
watch porn somehow.
There is no
You
mobile
can't.
hotspot.
I'll
Because-
download it all on my phone then.
There is a wall phone, like a corded wall
Yeah.
phone, and that's
Yeah.
it.
I'll bring some books,
That
it's
sounds
fine.
great.
Oh, it's fantastic. Like, we
to
go up there
be
and get away
out,
from everything.
out of pocket for a weekend, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I would
Me and
love
Casey
that.
go
Oh
up there.
yeah, I would love it. Just especially when the shit hits the fan with everything
When
going
we
on
go
in
up
the
to the
legal
cabin,
system.
I put my phone in a drawer and I don't look at it.
Oh, you can look at your phone up there all you want.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Yeah, because I let my sister know we're here, and
Well, that's what we usually call. I'll call my mom, and she'll call her mom. Like, here's the phone number to the cabin, the camper. If you need us, that's where we'll be if we're there. That's it.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is the address.
this is it. Yeah,
If something happens, send the cops. It's gonna take them an hour to get to us.
yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that
really
sounds
it.
great.
Because I keep wanting to go. Again, I don't think there's Bigfoot in North Georgia, but I sure as hell want to
Well,
go
I
find
was
out.
fascinated at this Bigfoot convention. The lady with the mind speak, but she had so much like photographic
That
evidence and
was
stuff.
interesting.
She was unusual. But the lady who said every time there's an alien sighting, there's also a Bigfoot sighting. And she worked for the FBI for like their special like Bigfoot unit, alien unit. I can't think of the name of it.
It was
Mufon.
Mufon.
Something
Fun.
like that.
Yeah.
And she like went back through to like the 40s and 50s, like even to the Fire in the Sky event. And she was like, what you didn't hear was while these alien sightings were going on, there was Bigfoot sightings. I mean, there's people who've seen Bigfoot coming out of the alien ships, like the one in like Pennsylvania, the big one
Yeah,
that everybody
yeah.
talks about. And so we were all sitting there like, what
We're
the
woke.
fuck?
We've been woken.
And
And then the very last speaker talked
he's
about
such a dick.
angels and
Yeah, I think I was a dick.
I mean, I think I literally
Exorcism.
checked out at that point.
I was just like, This guy is that asshole you see in a trench coat at a magic room and thinks he's like the hottest shit when he's actually just
He like
an
has
idiot.
his like
Yeah.
magic
brought-
decks like.
I brought Battle of Wits to a legit tournament.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, I just
Yeah,
feel like
it works. It works sometimes.
I'm
So
just
it-
like outside smoking cigarettes. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
no, it's fine. He compared like the and I had the word in my head, but like the echelon of angels and demons to aliens, and that they were the aliens and Nephilim were aliens, which I do believe that the Nephilim were left by, the Anunnaki. Like I have a legit belief in that.
Yeah, but
So
the
he-
guy was just a
But
dick.
he
He was self-righteous
yeah.
dick.
He was like, I'm very smart when I was 12.
And you could tell him and his girlfriend had like the DDLG kink, and just like she's just looking at him like, "Senpai, ooh, what's this bulge right
true.
here?" It's so fucking.
well,
was
I
so
think that's why
cringe.
they were like the last speakers
Thank
But
of
he
the
God.
did have a
day.
legitimate point. But you had to listen to a lot of bullshit him.
What was his point?
Just about like he believes
religious literature probably reflects
descended from the aliens.
So, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a whole
yeah,
episode that
yeah,
we can get into.
Yeah,
Also, we're going ghost hunting again tonight.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. They're
Yes, yes, yes.
going. Bobby's got.
And we will live stream
double-
again without the rain.
Yeah. Bobby's got a 2.5 day because Kenny's coming with us. It's me, Blaze, Laura, and Kenny,
Ooh.
and Talea and I. Because I want her to meet friends. And Kenny is like, "Yeah, I'm not doing anything."
I like their names Talea because I always picture like League of Legends. She's like shooting rocks at people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Bobby's like, I'm dating a rock mage.
Fuck yeah. But yeah. So hey, Becky.
What's up?
Becky.
Yeah.
Becky.
Where can they find us?
Hey, guess what, guys? I got an email that said that they're having a limited run of the Georgia Renaissance Festival in November.
Fuck
Oh.
yeah.
There you go. You can find us on Facebook at the Free Rotation Podcast. You can find us on
Becky
Twitter.
threatened to marry me at the Georgia Renaissance, so I'm not going.
Do it. It's fun.
I know I don't want to.
It was a joke. We are
How
not going to
awful.
do it. I promise. Well, we can do it, but we're not going to do that. Anyways, you can find us on Twitter at the Free
Oh,
Rotation.
God.
You can check us out streaming on Twitch at the Free Rotation. Hey, if you have an Amazon Prime account, did you know? I haven't done this in a while. That you get one free Twitch subscription each month for Prime Gaming. And did you know that you can use that free subscription to give us money? Do it.
Did you know that I will? Now that you told me to do it, I will not do it.
Thanks for benefiting our podcast, Bobby. You want a new recorder one day? You want some new microphones? You gonna do it.
I'll stop giving mine to magic content creators.
Yeah, that's my answer. How do you feel like that?
You could also just pay $4.99 a month
know
and just
y'all
give
had
us
one
the
of those.
money.
True. I just give you $5. Like, here you go.
That works too every month. You can find us on YouTube at The Free Rotation. You can check us out on Weeby Geeks. We are affiliates of that podcast network. Check out all the great podcasts at WeebyGeeksPC.com. Our backlog is at TheFreeRotation.com. And you can check us out on all the great podcasting apps. Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Stitcher.
Used to be Google Music /Play, and I guess it's YouTube Music. I don't freaking know. You figure it out. And yeah, Stitcher, we're not on SoundCloud except for one clip. There you go.
We're on the iTunes.
Also,
We are on the iTunes.
The iTunes.
Since you guys are liking the live streaming so much and going back and looking at the VODs, I'm gonna hit up Chris, Becky, and Bobby, do some randonauting and live stream it.
Oh, Rotten Cool. Cash money.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You
always
can
wanted
bring
to
your
do it.
like metal thing because apparently it just sends you into public places you have access to. It never sends you on a private property.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's always like these weird. Go watch your randonauting videos.
Let's go find a dead body.
Yeah.
That's what happens sometimes.
Because okay, it's an app and I downloaded it. So it's interesting because before it gives you a location, you have to sit and meditate while holding the app. What do you want to find? What's your intentions? So you think, do I want to find something lost? Do I want to find something dead? But no, we want to find something lost. And so then it's like, and like people say, it really did take me to exactly what I wanted to find. So it's kind of like this
So it's
weird
called
paranormal
Randonaut?
thing.
Yeah.
Randonaut.
Yeah.
Cool. We
Yeah.
can start random
And then
metal
it gives
detecting.
you
Exactly.
It gives you coordinates, but it also does like the Google Maps walk, like how to get there.
Yeah.
So, but it's coordinates you can put in. It's not geocaching. A lot of people have compared it.
Yeah.
But it's randonauting.
But yeah, people have found like I want to find something evil, and like they've been like random, and they find like a dead body shrink wrap, and like the police have
yeah,
legit got
this
involved.
one girl found like this. It's like one of the weirdest haunting things I've ever seen. And she was like, I just wanted to find something unusual. Oh,
Was
she
that the one
found
where
it.
you heard the little girl
Little
talk?
girl.
That's fucked up. It's so fucked.
crazy.
Yep.
And then these kids wanted to find something that has been lost and really urgently needs to be found. So they went to a dead body on the beach. And it's wild. So yeah, I'd
I'm
like
on
to
board
live
with
stream
this.
that.
We're gonna have to like try this after we're done spoopy stuff. Well, we'll do more
This is
spoopy
spoopy stuff.
This is spoopy stuff, but like akin to spoopy
Yeah,
stuff.
this is more like intriguing.
Yeah.
Like, where's it gonna send us?
Yeah.
quirky ooh woo.
What can you find out there with your metal detector?
I'm on board with this.
You metal detecting looks like you're
I was
jerking
like,
off when
why
I
are
did it.
you
but-
jerking off the metal detector,
Metal
Angie?
detector.
All right, guys, have a
Yeah.
great week, great month, great year, and don't forget to love each other.
And we love you, and we'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, we care greatly.
Run away.
ASMR, I'm down.